The ZV-1 is a compact camera that is specifically made for vlogging. The box literally says so. So after 3 months of using this camera, the question is this actually the perfect vlogging camera? Also, welcome to Amsterdam. With the ZV-1 you can shoot up to 30 frames per second in 4K and 120 frames per second in 1080p, and the image quality, honestly, it blew me away, especially in combination with the aperture of f1.8. You can get that really fancy, nice, blurry looking background that everyone loves so much. And also because the aperture goes down to f1.8 or as wide as f1.8, it means that in low light situations you have that little bit more room for light to come into the camera without it being too noisy. What I really like about this camera is that I don't have to color correct it or color grade it. I think that the colors are pretty spot on. The auto white balance, which is what I use, is pretty spot on as well. Sometimes you see a little shift, and sometimes you have to correct a little bit, but overall I barely do anything to my footage. It's great out of camera, and I love that because when it comes to vlogging, I really like to keep things simple and just as spontaneous and raw as possible. There's one thing that I do want to mention, but I do want to say that you shouldn't take this too seriously, because honestly it's not really a fair comparison, and that is that the dynamic range of this camera is definitely less than my way more expensive full frame cameras. As you can see, the sky is pretty blown out because it's trying to expose me well, but what can you expect? It's a 1-inch sensor camera compared to a full frame camera. I don't know, but the autofocus of the ZV-1 is actually really good. It has eye autofocus, which means that it identifies your eye and then it just snaps to it and it will not let go. I have not had a single focusing issue in the last few months of using this camera. It's really good. I'm looking at it right now, and it's really good. And if I'm behind the camera, so I'm not filming myself, if I want to focus on something, all I do is just press the screen and it will track whatever I pressed on. It's good. So let's talk about image stabilization, because image stabilization is pretty important when it comes to vlogging. We don't like shaky footage. And as you can tell, this footage is quite shaky, but that is because I haven't turned the steady shot to active. Now this camera has a 24 to 70mm lens, which looks like this. This is the widest it gets, which is okay, but it could be a little bit wider. And when you turn on the steady shot and you turn it on to active, as you can see, it crops in quite a bit. It's still okay, but I feel like it's a little bit intimate and I would like to show a little bit more of the surrounding and not just my face. Now, what I also don't like about the active steady shot is, I don't know if you can see this right now, but I noticed little jello-y. I don't know, it looks a little bit jello-y because it's being digitally stabilized. This is what it looks like when you turn it entirely off. I don't even think that I have to comment on what this looks like. It just looks like trash to me. It's not good. Now let's talk about something that I really hate about this camera, because I've been hyping this up so much, but there is one thing that I hate with a passion, and that is the battery life. The battery lasts for about 30 minutes before you have to charge it again, which is just not practical at all when it comes to vlogging. But again, like, what do you expect? The battery is this tiny. So what I would really recommend you to do is just pick up a few extra batteries. I bought the official Sony one, but I also bought a few knockoffs, which are honestly just as good. So if you're vlogging with this camera, do yourself a favor and get a bunch of extra batteries. I'll put both the ones that I'm using in the description so you can check them out. One of the main reasons why I got the ZV-1 is because of the built-in microphone. In my opinion, it is good enough, definitely good enough for vlogging. The audio is clear, you can judge for yourself because this entire video has been filmed on the ZV-1, and I just really like that the setup is so small. There is also a wind noise reduction option, which I just turned on. I haven't turned it on before, so I have no idea what that is like. But honestly, the fact that everything is just in this camera, you don't need any accessories, no tripod if you don't want to, is a huge plus. Just grab your camera, put it in your pocket, and start your vlogging adventure. And if you want to learn how to vlog and how to tell a really good story in a vlog, then make sure that you watch this video right here, or watch the video that YouTube thinks is best for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. See you later. Bye.